On today's episode of the Regression to the Mean podcast, we are going through 4 rounds of a Dynasty Rookie Mock Draft, Superflex, Tight End Premium, PPR. You know the drill. I'm your host, Shaun, and I'm joined by my good friends, my fellow knowers of ball, Aidan Holler, Keegan Thompson. Boys, the NFL schedule just came out. Pretty exciting stuff. Keegan, you and I are mortal enemies week 1. Go Niners.
Week 1. Are we going to go to the game or what, Shaun?
Possibly investors, possibly you. Aidan.
You sponsor our TN pod and send our favorite host to the Jets Niners week 1 Monday night game.
We're going to need Bowden to rip a little bit harder before I'm playing for any corporate offsites. Aidan. Bears.
Offside.
Corporate offsites.
Yep.
Bears are winning, what, 12, 13 games? What's that looking like with the schedule?
I've got somewhere in the 9 to 12 range.
Okay, 9 to 12 range. Okay, breaking news.
When you're last place in your division, you get an easy schedule. I already sent it in our chat. I went week by week. I chalked it up. It looks pretty good, gentlemen. I think we're returning to playoff football this year. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, I'm ready.
True if big. Okay,
True if big.
The format, very simple for today's episode. We're literally just going to go pick by pick. We have 60 seconds on the timer. If you haven't seen our first mock draft, Aidan and I ran through that last week. We've had some rookie reports come out, which are great. Maybe that changes ADP. But really, we just haven't done it with Keegan, and we thought it'd be fun to do with Keegan. So we're doing another one.
Videos of guys catching passes in short. People are building rookie takes off
You're a
shorts.
hater.
God, I hate it so much.
A.D. Mitchell has chose the number 10 because 10 receivers are drafted in front of him. That's a new bit. When you don't even want to memorize the names, you're too lazy, but just the number 10. That's taking the bit up to a new level. I do enjoy that.
Yeah, no
All right,
faces.
boys.
No faces.
No faces. All right, and his true story, A.D. Mitchell's daughter's name, Icy Lynn Mitchell. I'm bullish. I've never been more bullish. Okay. All right. Keegan's going to go 1. Aiden's going to go 2. I'm going to go 3. And we're just going to go pick by pick. All right. We got 60 seconds. Get a take off. Let's have some fun. Boys, you ready to start the draft? Keegan, you're going to kick us off at pick number 1. You ready to do this, man?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, go ahead and lock in Caleb Williams 101 here. I don't really need the 60-second timer, but if you want to wait until the next pick comes up, I feel like
the real NFL draft.
Yeah. They know their picks all the whole time. Like the Bears were sitting on that, and they waited the whole 8-minute clock. So I'll spare you guys. Caleb Williams 101 Superflex formats should be no-brainer pick. I don't care if you have good QBs or not. Make sure you take Caleb Williams 101.
Any merit for Marvin Harrison over Caleb here?
No. You would have to have a quarterback room of like Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, or Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, and maybe a really terrible third QB option to go Marvin Harrison. I think it would be malpractice.
I feel like trading out would be just as hard. So if you really want Marv, you probably got to take him at 1 if you have 1. Trading out seems really difficult. All right, Aidan, you're on the clock.
Yeah, and then here's Marvin Harrison Jr. It's the first 2 are easy. Like these are chalk. If your Superflex drafts go any other way, I don't know. That's crazy. Then the draft starts at 3.
All right. Marvin Harrison, Caleb Williams off the board. I think there are a lot of choices here that I personally like, but I'm going to take my QB2. He was the QB2 last offseason. Nothing's changed for me. Don't care if he's on the Patriots. I actually think that's a pretty good landing spot, as I was roasted for giving too long of a monologue on in the YouTube comments. I will spare you all that monologue here now. If you want to know why I'm draking my May at the 103, go listen to that episode where we were talking about rookie landing spots. Players to buy. All right, I'm taking Drake May here at the 103.
I love that for you.
Now, are we back to me or are we snaking it?
It's back to you.
Gonna go?
Yeah, it's you.
Okay, great. All right, so Caleb off the board, Marvin off the board, Drake May off the board is very interesting because it leaves Jaden Daniels on the board. I still believe in Superflex formats. Drafting a rookie quarterback who's going to score a shit ton of points is very important. Part of me wants to lean Malik Neighbors here, but I feel like I have to go with Jaden Daniels and be responsible. I think Jaden Daniels is going to run the ball more than any quarterback does in the NFL this year.
Ooh, more than A-Rich. I like that.
More than any QB in the NFL. Okay.
Yeah, I think he will lead the NFL in QB rushes.
Okay. All right. Aidan,
we'll see. I think he would snap in half if that happens. But I am.
He's elastic.
I know.
That's what they're saying.
He's
elastic. Yeah.
He's gonna get the coins knocked out of him like Sonic, like he was doing in college. So it's kind of like choose your flavor here at wide receiver. I think Malik Neighbors is going to be the more instant contributor, which is who I'm going to get. I like Rome more long term, but we know there's plenty more mouths there with Keenan and DJ at the moment. Neighbors, he should be seeing 8, 10 targets a game potentially. There is no one else in that wide receiver room that is that you're losing any sleep over. So it's got to be Neighbors for me there at 5.
Neighbors is going to be one of my most drafted players in redraft. I think he's going to get Garrett Wilson type volume out of the gates. I love Malik Neighbors in
120 targets coming his way.
I think it's going to be a lot of short stuff, which is fun. I think it's going to be a lot of short stuff.
Danny Dimes is pretty good at ripping those post routes. He's pretty good at middle of the field stuff. That's where Neighbors thrives. I actually think it's a pretty good spot for Neighbors. This one, don't overthink it. No, he's not the next Jackson Smith and Jigba, because Rome Odunze is way better than Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Is someone saying that?
Give me Rome Odunze. Yeah, he's going to be rookie year JSN. That's what people are saying because he's competing with veterans. I think he's better, and I also do think people sleep on how good Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf are. But I think it's funny because he's coming from Shane Waldron, the JSN connection. But Odunze is so talented, and by the end of next season, I would not be shocked if Odunze is the top target earner by the end of the season. At the beginning of the year, might be a little tough. There's really good veterans they've got there, but I like Odunze long term.
This one's tricky. This is where the draft is a little tricky here. You have to weigh the pros and cons of adding a quarterback at 107 who is going to be a starter in JJ McCarthy, or you have to weigh the idea of getting a generational tight end prospect who doesn't really play tight end and is more like our receiver and will probably play like a flex tight end position. And we're going to Brock or Bowers here for sure. I don't really care that he's on the Raiders. I don't really care about Michael Mayer. Like, Brock Bowers is not going to be used as an inline blocking tight end. Like, he's such a special talent. I would draft him, especially if you're playing tight end premium.
Nice. I think this is personally the clear pick here at 8. I don't think he's going to start right away, but QBs are gold in super flex, and that's going to be JJ. We were talking about it earlier today. I wouldn't be surprised if he sits, half a season or potentially more. Sam Darnold has all the tools to succeed in a Kevin O'Connell offense. So, I don't think he's going to play right away, but I like this here. He's going to play this year. He's going to be their long-term QB at least for a couple of years. So, no, I like JJ there.
I think this is between two guys for me. One's a receiver, one's a running back. I think wide receivers are such a premium, especially when they're tied to elite quarterbacks. But at the end of the day, I think this running back is actually super talented. I do worry about his knee injury, right? That is an obvious concern. But I think with Dave Canales, they're going to establish the fuck out of the run. They're going to pound the rock. I think Jonathan Brooks is going to be a main beneficiary of that. I feel pretty confident about Brooks as a talent, both as a 3-down workhorse and his ability to thrive in a high-volume role. And I think by the end of next year, this guy's going to be a top 12 consideration weekly. So give me Jonathan Brooks here at the 109.
Wow. Easy decision here for me next. I'm going to take Patrick Mahomes' next weapon in Xavier Worthy. Speed kills, brother. Speed kills. They had a plotting allotment of wide receivers and pass catchers the past couple of years. They've added Hollywood Brown. Rashee Rice is going to jail. And I want the guy that is
dude. He's
going to be tied to, he's going to be tied to Patrick Mahomes for several years. And I think Xavier Worthy is much more than just a speed guy too. Like, I know a lot of people think they see the 40 time, like, well, that's it. But he can do a lot at the wide receiver position. And attaching yourself to Mahomes, pick 110.
Yeah.
That's the first round. Give me all the Xavier Worthy here.
Yeah, man, I was going to say speed kills NFL careers too, because Rashee Rice is going to jail.
Learn to speak prison ball, buddy.
Learn to speak longest yard.
Machine. All right. So at 11 here, I think it's between a couple different guys. I took him, I think at 9 or 10 in our previous draft, and it's Ladd here. I love Ladd over a BTJ and Keon. Just close to zero competition. QJ is going to be in the offense still too. Don't forget QJ. But no, it's lagged for me. I think he's going to be an early target earner if he's able to separate like he did in the college level. I think Justin Herbert's due best pound.
Quentin Johnson, people forget it.
This is actually this is my pick, which is kind of crazy. In the league that we're actually mocking for, and I don't love either of these two wide receivers. I think honestly I would take one over the other, but
I
think
love this spot.
I think this is an obvious quarterback pick here. With how valuable Superflex is, I think this guy's going to start day one. I think people have honestly thought he's not that good.
I thought you were talking about Penix better than a lot of before you said day one.
I think so. I think he's better than what people give him credit for. I've been a little more team Bo Nix than a lot of people are, but I mean, come on, quarterback is so valuable in Superflex. I'm taking Bo Nix.
The early buzz has been pretty promising too.
I just saw a video of Johnny Manziel highlighting why the Broncos drafted Bo Nix and why he likes that pick. So that's all I need to know about Bo Nix.
Johnny football.
When you said that you were picking here based off quarterback, I thought you were going a different route here. You already are about to click his name. Yeah, I'm going to draft the guy. He's going to be the number one wide receiver for Josh Allen and is going to compete with Khalil Shakir and Curtis Samuel and Marquez Valdez-Scantling and some Dalton Kincaid in there. Keon Coleman seems like such a value to me. If I had 11, 12, I might have picked him there.
Wow, I like it. I just really hope they use him correctly.
I'm not that high on.
Let's not forget he outproduced Jaden Reed. One of everybody's favorite dynasty players right now. He outproduced him in the same year in college.
Great in college. Moving on here, we're going to take another wide receiver. I like Brian Thomas Jr. I still love Christian Kirk. I think Gabe Davis is. We know what Gabe Davis is, dude. If he's able to be healthy with that shoulder, that 4.4 speed at his size, like. He could be a day one contributor, which I'm super excited about. Maybe Trevor gets his head out of his ass this year, and he has a good rookie season.
So many good wide receiver options right here that you have to feel excited about. I just can't find myself getting super excited about taking Xavier Legette at the 203. As a 49er fan, I absolutely love Slick Rick. I'd be happy taking him more in the 2.4, 2.5, 2.6 range. We alluded to this guy at the beginning of the draft. I have 10 reasons why I want to take this guy. And the number one reason is that he named his daughter Icy Lynn. So I'm gonna take A.D. Mitchell here, the wide receiver tied to Anthony Richardson.
Why?
And Shane Steichen. I was an A.D. Mitchell hater. I've been converted. I'm now a believer. I'm all in, baby. Let's go.
I'm going to continue
take your guy.
Campaign on my parade against running backs, and I'm going to go with Slick Rick here.
Ew.
Rumors of Deebo Samuel or rumors of Ayuk being traded, like in 2 years, you're potentially talking about Brock Purdy's number 2 option and wide receiver with one of the most creative offensive minds in football. Sounds pretty good at the 204 here.
I thought you were going to go a different wide receiver there, but
XL.
No, no, I like Pearsall there. I'm gonna take a running back here. I'm gonna take Trey Benson. I think he could be starting as soon as this season potentially. Obviously, he won't out of the gate, but we know James Conner's injury history. He's pretty prolific in terms of missing somewhere between 3 to 6 games a season. Trey Benson, uber productive at Florida State. Man, like this guy's legit. I think he's gonna be the real deal.
James Conner has never missed like a ton of games, but he always misses like 4.
He plays like 10 to 11 games a year.
It's always a couple, but then returns for fantasy playoffs just to crush Shaun's soul, dude.
He's so good. Everyone's like, oh, he's gonna take James Conner's lunch. I'm like, guys, James Conner's really fucking good. I like Benson. I like Benson. Trust me, but I've been converted at the church of James Conner. Kind of a no man's land right now.
No,
I feel like you got to take Legette.
I
think you got to take him. I for all the reasons I highlighted why I like Jonathan Brooks, I think just Dave Canales is a good play caller. So I'm more bullish on the Panthers than most. That may come back to bite me in the ass, but Legette's production profile is atrocious. But he's big and fast, and he looks great in those workout videos at rookie camps. So why not? Why not throw the dice here and take Legette?
He's got a quarter horse named Bill. That's all you need to know.
Oh
Brother.
yeah, all right. I told him I'd be ready.
Yep. All right, this one is pretty easy for me. I am going to go ahead with Michael Penix Jr.
Yeah,
at the quarterback position. Second round rookie drafts, like when you're drafting for the dynasty, like this is, like Shaun said, no man's land, and not a lot of these people are going to be contributors out of the gate. You're kind of looking for diamonds in the rough, and I'm down to take a bet on the guy who could supplant Kirk Cousins in 2 years, who's going to be tied to some electric weapon in the NFL eventually.
You painted that nicely.
He painted that Penix.
Yeah,
he painted that Penix
you painted the Penix there. I'll take Jalen Polk. I don't really want to take another running back there. I could do it. I think, me and Shaun have gone back and forth between Jalen Polk and Javon Baker. You probably don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. I've been pretty Baker. Polk likely, fits in there more naturally day one. So Jalen Polk there.
I'm gonna have to take Corum and Marshawn Lloyd are such they're such a conundrum because they're both backup running backs at this point. Both of the guys in front of them, I think Jacobs has a more legitimate claim to holding down that job, whereas Corum does everything the coaches want him to do, but so does Kyron. But Kyron gets hurt. I think I gotta go with Corum over Marshawn Lloyd, even though I really like Lloyd. I think I'm going to have to go Corum. I just think if anything were to happen to Kyron, Blake Corum is going to get the Kyron role and score like 15 touchdowns. So I just got to take Corum.
It's time to scroll the F down here for me, Shaun.
No, you're not.
And pull up Cincinnati rookie wide receiver
Shut up.
Jermaine Burton for my next
early.
pick.
In the second round, Keegan?
Look, painted the picture for Slick Rick because same thing. T. Higgins has requested a trade twice. Like, he's not coming back to the Bengals after this year. They'll go all in. They'll try and win a Super Bowl, and T will be gone. And then it's Jermaine Burton and Jamar Chase tied to Joe Burrow. He looks great in shorts. I saw the video.
Yeah.
It's all I need to see.
This guy can play. He runs routes against air.
He can play.
I think I'm going to go with one of the guys we really like at the wide receiver position, and I'm going to Malachi my Corley a little bit here. I think this guy could play right away. We know Mike Williams can't stay on the field for his life. Garrett Wilson's a bona fide stud, but Aaron Rodgers is going to need more than one guy to throw the ball to. And, I think there's a pretty clear path to him potentially being the number 2 option in that passing attack. So I like Malachi there. I think that was a great draft pick by the Jets, Keegan.
He's going to drop one pass or he's going to run one bad route, and Rodgers
straight to his doghouse
to the dark retreat.
He's staying in the guest house. All right.
They're
pick of the buddies. Last pick of the second round. I could bend my Senate, which I'm a big fan of, but running backs are more valuable than. Wait, no, this is tight end premium.
This is TEP.
Oh,
yep. Time to take the fullback.
I won't draft Roman Wilson even if there's a fire. I'm gonna go Marshawn Lloyd. I think he's really talented. I like LaFleur. Josh Jacobs on a 1-year deal, basically. Give me Lloyd. Even though he's kind of a boom bust guy and he fumbles, give me Lloyd.
Interesting places I could go here. We did talk about Ben Sinnott. I'll wait until somebody actually drafts him so we could talk about him and his dynasty outlook. There's Roman Wilson, and also not a fan of, but maybe I'll buy the dip eventually. But right now, I'm going to go with Troy Franklin, projected first-round talent, and slides in the draft. He's attached to his college quarterback. Like, no chemistry having to be built there is something that I'm pretty interested in. And yeah, it's like the corpse of Cortland Sutton, and who else there? Lil Jordan Humphreys in Denver.
Yeah, we kind of got ripped for letting Troy Franklin slide, but there's definitely still a couple of guys ahead of him. I'll do it. I'll bend my Sinnott. We'll take the next George Kittle. If you're on the X,
as Twitter,
I've just came down with the next George Kittle because they are the exact same height and weight. This guy's fun though. Really good athlete.
And Adam Peters drafted George Kittle and drafted
Adam
Ben
Peters
Sinnott.
Too.
They're twins.
He's gonna be, in a timeshare with Zach Ertz, whether it's right or wrong, with Cliff Kingsbury. But I think, in 2 tight end sets and hopefully, down the road, he gets more PT.
And an I formation.
What he's back to
I
fullback.
like Sinnott.
He's back to fullback.
I like Sinnott. I like Sinnott.
No, I like him.
I don't think
he's
he's
really
going to
good.
redefine the position like some people on Twitter are right now, but I like Sinnott.
No, I think he's the clear second best tight end in this draft.
I agree. I'm joshing on him.
I refuse to Roman my Wilson. I'm just not doing it. I refuse. I'm taking Javon Baker. I'm doing it. There it is. I will not take a Arthur Smith slot only wide receiver tied to quarterbacks who do not throw over the middle of the field. I'm out. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, it's not a great gamble.
Man, eventually someone will buy the dip, but that won't be me.
No, I'm not fucking doing
I'm looking at this list now, and it's all kind of dart throws here. I think the next person that I might like is probably a Tampa Bay player, and it's not going to be the one that you two might think it is, but I think I'm actually going to go with Bucky Irving. Rachaad White is a fantastic pass-catching running back, but he is an okay running back. And I think there's some interesting opportunity for Bucky Irving to actually get some run at running.
Yeah,
Sade they were throwing Todd Bowles threw a little shade at Sade. He was in the Coach Speak Index. If you follow that Twitter account, it was like, hey, this guy actually, makes guys miss on the first attempt. We haven't had that here in a while. I was like, oof.
Oof. Yeah, no, I heard that.
That was kind of mean.
Good, Todd.
No, I like Buck. Yeah, I think we highlighted him at least once or twice during our pre-drop coverage. So
big fan.
Good get. I'm not fucking doing it either. I'm taking another running back. Raheem Mostert's days are numbered. We know, last year was borrowed time for the guy. It's you're gonna have to wait a little bit, but once that backfield is him and Devon Achane, man, it's gonna be awesome. It is going to be so much speed, so many big plays. So Jalen Wright, welcome to the taxi squad, brother.
His Tennessee tape is like watching clips of NFL Street. There's 4 linemen on the field. It's really weird.
That offense is so fake. They just create these running lanes for him. But if there was one team that could create massive freeways for him to run through, it's the Dolphins. So I still think people are overrating him a little bit. I'm still going to Devin my Achane as much as humanly possible.
Yeah.
Your 2 running backs, baby.
I think I'm going to stop this draft position, though. I think I like the draft position for him.
Yeah. I'm going to stop the slide. I was just hating on him 3 picks ago, but Roman Wilson also is a good football player. So I'll bet on the fact that he's good. I just don't think he's as good as some people make him out.
I think we're going to get ripped for that.
The problem is he's just so good. He is really good and successful, catching the ball over the middle, but he's playing with 2 quarterbacks who don't throw the ball over the middle. That seems like a massive concern for me. Looking at the list here, just kind of where do I go? This is all dart throws basically for anybody watching.
I'll do it.
No. All
right, twist my arm.
Since this is tight end premium, I'm pretty interested in Jatavian Sanders for Carolina. I think he'll be a nice young piece. The team is all getting younger together, so it seems like there will be some opportunity for him to grow into a role and become a target for Bryce Young.
There you go.
I like that. I think he got a bit overrated heading into the combine, tested poorly, and then he came out of it a little underrated, honestly.
I'm going to take another Washington wide receiver. I'll take Jalen McMillan.
Lucky.
You Tampa receiver?
Well, yeah. Out of Washington.
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 Okay. I'll leave. I'm going to step out.
We know Mike Evans
That's
and
our host,
Godwin,
everyone.
Mike isn't going to be there much longer. Who knows how much longer Godwin's there. So I like him. He's actually got some really fun college tape.
Good player. The popular pick here is going to be Kamani Vidal because he has a pretty immediate path to playing time. But man, the comments coming out of Broncos camp on Javonte Williams from Sean Payton are just down horrendous. I mean, the guy's basically we're going to have an open competition with Blake Watson, Audric Estime, and Jalen McLaughlin, and no mention of Javonte. So
Sean Payton's an asshole, though. So this shouldn't surprise any of us.
I don't know if this is early camp speak or not, but I really like Audric Estime. I was a big fan heading up to the pre-draft process. I think he's legitimately a good runner, very productive. I'm taking Estime.
I'm going to dip my toes in the running back pool here, and I know the Dynasty community was pissed about this pick. I know fantasy writers did not want this landing spot for Braylon Allen, who came into college and tore it up at 17 years old, but getting some insurance on Brees or just being into the Jets offense, they're going to phase out Israel and Bakanda, and they're also going to move towards a more 2 running back, option there for them. Sorry, I can't fucking talk right now, but it's going to be Brees and Braylon for a couple of years moving forward. So I like buying in on that.
There you go.
right. We're going to 30-second speed round, boys. Oh wait.
Nice.
Oh god. Oh god.
Nice. Leave that in, would you, Shaun?
No.
All right, we were at Kimani Vidal.
Yeah, we're at the Vidal pick.
I don't know where I went to see GU. All right, Aidan, you are on the clock.
Cool. I'm gonna take Spencer Rattler. I think
Dang, I
it's
like
worth
that.
taking a dart throw this late. Derek Carr looked fucking terrible last year. I know they're tied to him money wise, but I wouldn't be surprised if he starts at least one game this year. He's not as bad as I think his draft capital showed. There were just like really good quarterbacks ahead of him.
I'm not letting anyone take Malik Washington from me, so I'm gonna have to take him at the end of the third. I've accepted that. I'm reaching. But I just think he's so good, and I love him on the Dolphins. So I'm taking Malik Washington here.
Yeah, that's a good stash. He could play this year. I guess it might not even be a stash.
This is tough. This gets a little dark here. Part of me wants to take the McCaffrey family line, but I'm actually going to go with Jacob Cowing. Cowing? Is it Cowing?
Yeah, I think it's Cowing.
Yeah, and I'll take a dart throw on another piece being added to the SF offense.
Where'd he go again? I know he's just fast as
but
hell.
Niner.
Arizona, right?
No,
Yeah.
he's a Niner.
I know.
What, you asking where he went to college?
These colleges
Dude.
are throwing you off today. These are throwing you off today. I'll take the McCaffrey bloodline. I think there's a chance he slots into the Curtis Samuel role there. Pretty interesting skill set. Actually produced quite a bit last year at Rice. So no, I like McCaffrey there. I think you can do a lot
Kimani
worse at the
Vidal.
4 too.
I'm taking Kimani Vidal here. I think he's got an outside shot of leading this backfield in touches in year one. So feel pretty good.
It's gonna be really funny when Gus Edwards has 12 touchdowns this year and like 650 yards.
That's what he did. That's his thing.
Now this gets
it's counting down. The timer's now working against you, Keegan.
You are halfway done.
10 seconds.
Right? Dude, just sign me up for some Devontae Walker.
Yucky. I'm gonna take a guy that me and Shaun have talked about. Give me Tyrone Tracy.
Paying up early for Tracy.
Roll the F down,
yeah,
brother.
Give me Tyrone Tracy. There's no competition there, man. Devin Singletary. Devin Singletary's whatever, man.
Give me Ray Davis. Give me the 25-year-old rookie. Good player. He's gonna take the Latavius Murray role in Buffalo.
Yeah, he can rent a car for the fellow rookies on road trips. That'll be nice.
Oh man. Okay, so this one is Brendan Rice for me.
Cool.
Minimal target competition. He's got a chip on his shoulder. His dad's an all-time great, so he's going to do everything he can to make sure he proves the haters wrong.
Give me Theo Johnson. I learned more about this guy's story and what he's been through this week, and I'm just cheering for him. Just seems like a great guy.
Tight end, freak athlete. I like
Theo.
I like Theo Johnson. Give me Dylan Laube, the only running back that the Raiders added that can catch a pass in this backfield. Really talented pass catcher. Out of the backfield as a running back.
This is dark. I'm going to scroll down a little bit here too, and I'm going to go ahead and grab my guy, Ainias Smith. Interesting skill set. I know it's a very crowded pass catching group, but they could find a way to manufacture touches for him.
Oh, I'm up. Jesus Christ.
Me? Yeah,
no.
It's you.
Yeah,
Jeez.
it's me.
You're ahead in the game.
I know. I was like, what are you looking at me for? I don't know. Scroll down a little for me. I don't really want to do any of these guys. Where is he? I'll do Johnny Wilson.
Yeah, Eagles, bro.
Let's go. Yeah, he's just a good athlete. We'll see. But at the 4'11", if you get anything that sticks, man, props to you.
Good stats. Last two guys I like at this is I like Rasheen Ali, the guy who has a legitimate chance to be the handcuff to Derrick Henry at the start of the season for the Ravens. So I think that's interesting. I like Cade Stover too, the tight end at Ohio State. I'm gonna lean Cade Stover tied to CJ Stroud. They had a connection to Ohio State. Shower narrative. I'll go Cade Stover.
Shower narrative. I love that.
All right, boys. This is it. Any major takeaways? We'll start. Keegan, what's your one takeaway from doing this draft?
After doing this, you realize like this draft class got hyped up a lot, and when you get to round like 2 and it's like 2.9, you're like, okay, it's not as pretty as I once thought it was. So trade up, get into the second round, get into the first. There's some very interesting picks there that I really like. Make some dart throws in 3 and 4, and just pray for the best.
Aidan, we just drafted last week. Anything change for you week over week?
Not really. I do think there is some value in the third round. You're probably not getting starters in the third round, to Keegan's point, but I think you've got some guys that have some serious potential to play. Like later this year and beyond. So the fourth round is dark, but it's always dark. Some really good wide receivers in the second round, though, which is probably like the thing I'm most excited about for my drafts. Is like you look at these guys. You got Jalen Polk at the 8 there. You've got Jermaine Burton at the 10. There's some really fun wide receivers in the second round.
Troy Franklin is a value if he gets into the third, in my mind.
I think he will.
I don't know how good he is. That's my only fear. I don't know if he's good. We
don't know how good Bo Nix is, but you took him at 112.
Good. Well, quarterback's so valuable. But I agree. I think that Troy Franklin is a decent pick if he falls to the third. I'll give him that. I like the running backs as scratchers. Like I just do. Like Bucky Irving could be Kyron Williams. Jalen Wright could be Raheem Mostert. And you don't have to pay up. Everything seems pretty priced in. Like I like the value in the back end of the draft for running back. I don't know if any of these guys pan out, but all things considered, I think there are some decent opportunities there. But thank you everybody for tuning in. We appreciate it. If you haven't had a chance, subscribe to the Regression to the Mean channel. Before we jump, Keegan, you got anything to say to the listeners?
It's almost best ball season, boys.
Oh, it's already best ball season.
For many people, it is. I just mean for us. So if you're watching this channel and you're new to it and you're catching on from our Dynasty content, we will start doing some best ball content too. And if you want to test out your knowledge of rookies, make sure you go on Underdog, use promo code RTM, and you can see where all these rookies are going and start building out some Caleb Williams, Roma Doomsday stack.
Wow.
Ooh, baby.
My name is Aidan, and I support this message. All right, boys.
Yeah, I do.
Go Thunder. Hope they get the dub tonight for you, Aidan. Thank you, Rody, for tuning in. Till next time.